beautiful butterflies. So I'm back with another video, but I know I'm a little late for this one because we are halfway already through Jan 2025, but better late than never. So I'm going to talk about all the books I read back in 2024. So initially my Goodreads reading goal was 50 books, which I surpassed with flying colors by reading 57 books in the past year. I was gonna say this year. Anyways, in the past year. So I'll tell you very shortly about all the books that I read with my personal rating, because usually I don't put up my personal ratings when I recommend books. But this time, since this is a personal opinion video, I will have all the ratings and I will tell you about all the 57 books as shortly and sweetly as possible in this video. So let's go. So before I begin, let me tell you my rating scales. So when I rate, you understand where I'm putting on the books. If it's 1 star, oh boy, I barely got through it. You shouldn't even give it a go. Like 1 star, no. 2 stars, I got through it, but no, don't go there. 3 stars is when I liked the book. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It kept me going. I wasn't bored throughout it, or like I got through it without feeling like I'm pushing myself to get through it. I got through it. So that's 3 stars. 4 stars is when I really like the book. Okay. 4 stars is like a perfect book, but then it's not 5 stars because there's something missing. Okay, for me to give a book a 5 stars, it's like everything has to click into place. So if it's a 4 stars or somewhere between 4 to 4.75 stars, it's because it was really nice, I really liked it, but something just didn't click. Okay, and 5 stars, it's like the new love of my life. 5 stars is I'm gonna eat, sleep, breathe the book. Okay, I'm gonna dream about it. So if it's a 5 stars, you have to read it. There's literally no other choice. Go read it. Okay, so let me start with the ratings. So in my opinion, I started off the year 2024 with a banger. Okay, I think after the first book it went a little downhill for me, but the first book was a 4 star. Okay, so it was Funny You Should Ask by Eliza Sussman. Listen, okay, so let me tell you. Basically, okay, I don't really remember because it's Jan 2025. I read the book in 2024 Jan, so give me a break over here. Okay, but as far as I remember, the female character was a reporter, the guy was a film star, some star. Okay, and they met like 10 years ago for an interview and haven't seen each other since, but like they just had this instant click of some sort. And then 10 years later, again, she's asked to interview him and they meet again. And the entire story is what that follows in it, I think, goes between past and present point of views. So it was great. It was a 4 star. Okay. The next one that I read was To Love Jason Thorne by Ella Mays. So listen, in this book, the plot, the storyline, the reason why I went into it to read was like, okay, and the book, all the expectations crashing down. So basically, the storyline was supposed to be that an author wrote a book. Now it's getting converted into a movie, and the film star that is casted as the main character for the movie and the author, their love story. Let's take a pause over here, okay? Because what more could a reader want, okay? But no, they could have done the entire plot idea had so much potential, but no, none of it was 1 stars. I just explained you my rating scales. It was 1 stars. Let's just move on from this one. The next one was Springtide by Keith Stephens. It was a 3 stars for me because it was mid. It was 3 stars. So I mean, go read it. I have recommended this book in sports romances before. Next I read was Silent Vows by Jim Ransower, something of that sort. So basically, it was 3 stars, by the way, Silent Vows. So basically, the plot idea again for this book, so good, but they couldn't make it work. But it was 3 stars, so to some extent they made it work. But anyways, so basically, it's a dark romance, by the way. mafia romance. So basically, the guy is a mafia leader, and it's a whole arranged marriage aspect of it. But the girl is silent, she's mute. The guy, for some reason, wants to get married to her. There's an attraction, some sort. Okay, don't even ask me, I don't remember. But yeah, that. But I think they should have played a little more with her being mute and silent. Okay, I don't want to give you any spoilers or anything because I low-key don't remember what the spoilers could be for this book. But anyways, so they could have played a lot more with her being a mute and silent, but like, because that was the whole plot of why they wrote the book. But I think 30, 40 pages into the book they let the plot go, and then it was the whole same mafia arranged marriage and people trying to kill. No, this book was supposed to be about her being mute and silent because of the trauma she has endured. Why didn't you play more with it? But anyways, I wasn't bored reading it, so I guess it's a 3 stars. Moving on. Okay, so the next book, I really like this one. It's You with a View by Jessica Joyce. It's a 4.5 stars, so you already know what's coming. But oh my god, I really like this book. It's childhood academic rivals to love story. I don't know, it's 4.5 stars. You should take it. You should literally read it because it's like academic rivals. Then there's past letters involved, so that aspect of it. And then they also go on a trip together. Listen, okay, if people who don't like each other go on a trip together and then end up liking each other, it's gonna win every time. Then I read a sports romance, which was First Down by Grace Riley. I wouldn't go much more into sports romances because I've already recommended them in my recommendations videos. So please go watch them. And so yeah, this book was a 3.5 stars, 3 stars. First Down was a 3 stars, and yeah, that's it. I have recommended it because it's a 3 stars, so it's recommendation worthy. So go watch the recommendation video. Okay. Okay, next. Take a pause over here. It's Collide by Bal Khabra. I know I have recommended it in sports romance, but come on, I have to give this book its time, okay? It was a 5 stars. It was my first 5-star book of the year, which in itself means a lot. Next was Breakaway, which was the second book in the First Down series. This was a 4.25 though. I think this was my favorite book in the entire series. I don't remember the name of the series, but please go and watch the sports recommendation video. It's all in there in detail, I promise. The third book in the series was Stealing Home after Breakaway, and this was 3.5 stars. So I guess this was my second favorite in the series. Next, I read a novella, His to Break by Obson, Evie Obson, Owen, I don't know, okay? Something Evie. So it was just a novella. I didn't rate it anything because it was just 100 pages and it was pure smart. So I don't think I have to rate it. Moving on. I read Night Shift by Annie Crown and it was 1 stars. Let's just move on from this one. Okay. Then I read The Nanny by Lana Ferguson and it was a 4-star read. After which I read Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow, which was a 3.5 stars read. I'm not going to go into detail because both these books are in my single parent book recommendation video in detail. So go watch that one, okay? Then I read You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogley and it was a 5 stars. It was my second 5 stars of the year. And this one, listen, the book, the way it was written, the concept of it, it was so unique. I don't think I've read anything as such before. It was, how do I explain it? It was them in love, getting married, falling out of love, falling back in love, and it was just, there's nothing like this book. Then I read Better Hate Than Never by Chloe Less and it was a 3.5 stars. Usually I rave about enemies to lovers because it's a great trope. So yeah. Anyways, but I don't have much to say about this one though. And then I was feeling a little low in my reading pace. So I was like, let's go back to something that I know I will love. And so I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone because I was like, let me read all of them. And then no, that didn't happen. So yeah. Oh, wait, no. I did read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets after that one. So just the first two, and then I didn't continue the series because I just read it as palate cleansers. So yeah, just the first two. Then I read The Favor by Suzanne Wright and I gave it 4.25 stars. And then I read Terms and I'm sorry. I read Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher and I gave it 3.75 stars. That's about this one. And then I read Spanish Love Deception, reread Spanish Love Deception because I needed, see, at this point of the year, I was like, I need a 5 stars read. I need to read something that I know for sure that I'm gonna love. And Aaron Blackford, I don't think there's any man else who guarantees you falling in love with them. So I went and read Spanish Love Deception, and of course, I gave it 5 stars by Alina Armas, by the way, in case you didn't know, which I don't think anyone in the book community doesn't know about Spanish Love Deception. But yeah, so it was a 5 stars. That's why I read it. Because I knew it was going to be a 5 stars. Okay. For the next one, I need drum roll. Because I think this part of the year was my favorite. Because I discovered something I'm going to be obsessed with for the rest of my life. It was the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, which, if you're not new to this channel, you know how much I rave about them, okay? And I finally own the paperbacks. So basically, when I initially read it, I read it out my hair. I read it on my phone, and this birthday, my best friend gifted the paperbacks to me because she knows I want to own them. This my hair, I'm sorry. This is the series that I'm going to pass on to my children and my grandchildren, and these are probably the books I will read to them as bedtime stories, to be honest. All in my small town romance book recommendations video, so go watch them for a detailed each book review. Right now, I'll just tell you the ratings I gave them. Ouch. So Flawless was 4.75. Great start. Heartless was a 5 star because Cade, that man, and Luke, the baby, me want. Then there's Powerless. This was French. Oh, right. I didn't tell you the tropes. I'm so sorry. Flawless. This was Forced Proximity. The girl was the guy's assistant, PR. They had to travel together. Heartless is a single parent romance. Powerless is a friends to lovers romance, childhood friends to lovers romance. Heartless was, by the way, Powerless was a 3.75, okay? Heartless was 5 stars. Reckless is accidental pregnancy trope done extremely right because 5 stars, okay? I need this man in my life. It was a 5 stars. Then we have Hopeless. As the name suggests, Hopeless. It was a 2.75 stars. Don't even read this one, to be honest. Like, just skip it. It was no logic, too much smart in my opinion, but it's okay. I read it because it was part of the series. Moving on. Then I read The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy, and it was a 4-star read. It's all in my sports romance recommendation video, so go watch it in detail. I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and it was a 3.25 stars. The book that's about to come up, it's a 6 stars read. Let me just say it first. It's Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Now, everybody that personally knows me and is watching the video right now knows how obsessed I am with this book. The main character, Justin, in the book, I call him my husband. So I'm sorry if any of you guys love him or are going to love him after you read the book, after watching this video. He's taken because he's my husband. I'm not leaving him. I'm not giving him up. Like, genuinely. Like, in real life, if I'm ever going to have a husband, he's going to have to top Justin in every possible way. Okay? So, honestly, to be honest, for me, one of the love languages is going to be if any guy I like or likes me reads Just for the Summer for me. Honestly, you know what? I'd rather give the potential, my annotated book. But the sad thing is, I don't own the physical copy. I know where my annotations are, I know what my annotations are. I just don't own the physical copy to annotate it from my PDF. So once I own that and annotate and finally have someone who can be a potential boyfriend, he's gonna have to read this book if he wants to impress me, like thoroughly. Because if he does it, I'm gonna fall in love. Because Justin, that man, I can't even begin. Words can't describe how much I love him. He's my husband, period. I wouldn't call him anything. I wouldn't call him my husband if I didn't love him to the core. Anyways, I think that's enough raving for you to go read this book. Go! The next one I read was Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. It was a 6 stars. I loved it. And the next one I read was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. It was a 5 stars because, oh boy, my oh my. Let me tell you my favorite scene, because that's how you know I really love a book. My favorite scene in the book, the time when he is in his wolf form and she is in her, obviously she's a vampire, so her original form, and then something emotional happens, so she just tells him in his wolf form that, can you come like sleep with me or something, like cuddle with me, and then him in his wolf form goes and cuddles. I know it seems really small, but like if you read the book, you know. You know. And then a little downfall started because I read 1% of You by Michelle Ross and it was a 3.5 stars. Then I reread Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan and I gave it 4 stars. Then I went back into my cowboy romances and read Done and Dusted and Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. I gave Done and Dusted 3.5 stars and Swift and Saddled 4.5 stars. And then another banger, Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, 5 stars. This is my favorite book of all time by Lauren Asher. I could die for this book. It's a little thick, but the slow romance, the slow pace. It was enemies to lovers, I think, as far as I remember. And my goodness, it was so perfectly done. I've never read an enemies to lovers romance done so right. The slow burn, the angst, the oh my god. Then I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center and gave it 4.25 stars. Then I read The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer and gave it 4 stars. I have talked about this in detail in my fake dating recommendation video, so go watch it. Oh boy. And then I read Sicko by Amo Jones and I gave it 3 stars, okay? Sicko. Boy, this book has traumatized me. I can't even begin to put into words. Sicko made me sick. Oh damn, boy, did it make me sick. I don't even want to talk about it. The girl has a pain kink. And that wasn't even the sickest part of the book. I can't with this book. Let's move on. I can't. The only reason it has 3 stars and not something around 2 is because the plot twist at the end won my heart. But Sicko, no. For somebody who loves soft romances, like, see, usually I handle my dark romances fine, okay? I'm good at it. But Sicko, no. Don't. And then I went into rereading of Campus and Priory series, which I think I do every 2 years because they just feel like home to me, okay? First one, The Deal, 4.5 stars. The Mistake, 4.5 stars. The Score, 4.75 stars. The Goal, 3.5 stars. The Legacy, 2 stars. They didn't El Kennedy didn't have to write that book. It would have been perfectly fine without it. The Legacy, the only reason it has 2 stars is because after too many years of reading this book, I again had new material to read about them. But no, she didn't have to do this to us. Then The Chase, 4.25 stars. The Risk, 4.25 stars. The Play, 5 stars. Because I love this book. This book is literally what I would want me to be in it. Like, if I had to choose to be in one of the off-campus Briarview books, like be the main character, it would be this one. So yeah. And then The Dare, 4.75 stars, because it was... After that, I read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams and gave it 4 stars. So I was like, since I'm going into my throwback era, might as well reread the OGs of this timeline. So I read a Cheat Sheet. And then I read Mile High by Liz Tomford and gave it 4 stars. Then I read The Heartstopper Volume 1 and did not give it a rating because it's a graphic book. I didn't want to rate because I haven't read much of graphic adult books to, actually put them somewhere in my ratings. So yeah. And then I went back with Elsie Silver and read Wild Love. It was a 4.5 stars. I have annotated it. And then I was like, this year, let's step into some new genre because it was like towards August. So I was like, let's try something new, maybe. And especially because there was a TV show coming out of it. So based on it. So I'm always books before movies, okay? Have to read the book before I go to watch the show or the movie. So I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson and I gave it 5 stars. And then I read A Funny Story by Emily Henry and again annotated. I gave it 5 stars. I love this book. Makes me feel giddy. The entire book though, it was. And then I read Caught Up by Liz Tomford. I still have to read the 4th book in the series, which is out, Play Along, but I don't own the paperback. And I read all the other books in paperback form, so I was like, might as well read that one. Haven't bought it yet because I haven't had the time. Moving on. So I read Caught Up and I gave it 4 stars. Then, the bangers of the year. Okay, I've said it about so many books at this point. Binding 13 and Keeping 13. First of all, this one I still haven't had the time to annotate, but this one I have. So yeah, and I have a whole ass reading vlog on them, so I think that'll give you enough detailed review about it. But this was 4.5 stars and Keeping 13 was a 5 stars. And they're heavy. And then I ended my year with Butcher and Blackbird by Brian Weaver. I finished this on 30th night with a 4 stars. So yeah. So those were all the 57 books I read this year. Last year, 2024. And it was a great reading year, to be honest, because I read such a vast variety of books, such good books, to be honest. There were some bad downfalls, but overall the year was a great reading year. Yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. All my social links are linked down below as always. I'll see you very soon. Bye.